More money, more problems. Today is more money, more problems.
Now, who's hot, who not? Tell me who rock, who sell on the stores. You tell me who flop, who cop the
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
The same old pimp, mace, you know ain't nothing changed but my limp. Can't
Give everybody time to come on in, come on in. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Welcome to Straight Business Talk. It's where we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Today I'm late, but I'm gonna add 30 minutes on. Y'all, I've been having struggles with I would have been on, but I had some struggles with Facebook this morning. I had to update the Facebook to get my Facebook to act right. Good morning, good morning. All right, y'all. Today we about to talk about the IRS. That's what we about to do. We about to talk about the IRS. Good morning, y'all. I'm trying to give everybody time to come on in. Giving everybody time to come on in. It's finna get a little hairy this morning, y'all. There's some folks that need to hear this. The IRS is talking about going out, ramping up 50% of their efforts to audit and check up on small businesses all over America. So again, you know, we're going to talk about that. Are you scared or are you ready? Did you get government money from the SBA, Paycheck Protection Program? Well, they finna come out and do a check from what I heard. I'm going to read it. I'm going to give everybody an understanding. More money, more problems. That's what the subject is today. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Good morning, Jessica. Good morning. Good morning, Stacy. Good morning. Good morning. I see y'all popping in here. I'm trying to find this. Here we go. IRS is planning on 50% ramping up. And that's the subject of that. We're going to talk about them three letters. The one that you don't play with. IRS. All right, the IRS plans a 50% ramp up in audits of small businesses next year, 2021. This was put out November the 17th, 2020 by Bloomberg, written by Laura Davison. That's what I'm getting my source. That's where my source comes from, y'all. Comes from Bloomberg. Bloomberg.com has an article out here that they put out November the 17th talking about the IRS plans a 50% ramp up in audits of small businesses next year. So if you are a small business, we always talk about how we should be ready handling our business in the banking. I think we talked about that. How we can do 30, 40, 30. We talked about having ways of handling your business in your entrepreneurial world, your entrepreneurial life, and making sure that you are doing the business and the numbers right. The IRS is planning on taking on audits with small businesses. Me personally, I am ready. I have been audited twice by the IRS. First time I wasn't ready. Second time I got ready. I was ready. They came and they want our tax papers and all of the, they wanted it all. And so we had to produce bank records, bank statements, and we had to justify some of the spending we were doing. We were wide open. When you go to buying trucks and all that back to back and wide open, they won't know how in the hell is he doing all that. So we show them. We have the numbers to prove it. I've been doing things, trying to do things very, very organized from day one. I have the actual paperwork from the very first customer that I signed up back in 2008 all the way up until today. I think we're almost at 8,000 customers. And you know, when you have bank records to follow, these are the things that you try to do, you know, and try to show you keep receipts. I got a bookkeeper in-house. One thing I like about bookkeeping is that I get to track my spending every single day. So this is what they're talking about. The Internal Revenue Service is planning to ramp up audits of small businesses and their investors by about 50% next year, following years of persistently low examination rates. An agency official said this on Tuesday. This was back in November, y'all. Good morning, Adrian Jones. All right, the result could be a surge in audits of companies ranging from mom-and-pop retail stores and technology startups to investment funds that have historically faced only infrequent checks thanks to time and effort required at the IRS. The IRS is focusing our efforts to increase compliance activity in this area of not only partnerships, but also investor returns related to pass-throughs. DeLon Harris, the IRS Deputy Commissioner of Examination for Small Businesses, said at an American Institute of Certified Public Accountants event for 2021. I'm sorry, at a public accountants event. I'm reading past the period. I'm sorry, y'all. For 2021, we are planning for 50% more than we had in the previous year. Meaning they're getting ready to ramp it up. They're finna start coming after a lot of them just to do some checking. You know, just some checking. You know, and like I said, I try to be ready for this kind of stuff. See, being in business takes you being on top of your mess. You know, yesterday I wanted to get off at 4 o'clock, and, you know, I just couldn't because of payroll issues and things like that. We had to have a subject, not a subject, a conversation about the subject of payroll for about an hour. We're back and forth trying to figure this stuff out, trying to make sure that we're on point with payroll and make sure everybody getting paid. Now, I have employees. And so when you have employees, not only do you have to make sure that they are paid, but you also have to make sure that their taxes are paid. The withholdings that you are withholding from them, you have to make sure their taxes, their Social Security, all that stuff is paid in. And you have to pay your portion as the owner of the business of taxes for having the employees. So all this stuff got to be in on a weekly basis for 941 taxes. And we were having some discussions about it yesterday. And so those are the kinds of things that I'm talking about. All right. Pass-through entities, which include partnerships, limited liability companies, and sole proprietorships, are incredibly difficult for the IRS to audit because they frequently have complex structures, all right, that can involve dozens of interrelated entities. Pass-throughs don't pay taxes themselves, but pass along the profits and tax liabilities to the investors, who then pay the taxes on their individual tax returns. Wow, some of this stuff I didn't know, y'all. I'm reading it to y'all because I want you all to know. Now, this article can also be found on the Straight Business Talk, on this page of Straight Business Talk LLC. So I did share this whole article with you all last week, hoping that some of you all would see it. And I don't know if some of you all seen it or not, but I decided to highlight it today on the video. I am late today, y'all. I apologize. Yesterday I couldn't come on, couldn't figure out my Facebook. I got too many things going on Facebook. So when I tried to log into the group, it was saying I needed the it was like I was a member of the group and not the owner of the group. Come to find out, I'm logged in up under Straight Biz, not Straight Biz, iHang TV's operators. Meaning, you know, we got the operators page for iHang TVs. So my cell phone, I remember checking in, doing some checks on it and my cell phone, and picked up my cell phone. And some of the very friends that I have on Facebook are friends of mine on our professional page for iHang TVs. So we have that page, and I just thought I was on my page, and it just wasn't going right. So I just now figured it out this morning when I logged on my desktop version. All right, low base is what they're talking about. A 50% increase in the number of new audits next year could still mean that the agency has a long way to go to resume higher audit ratios because it's starting from a low base. the IRS audited only 140 partnership returns of more than 4 million returns filed in 2018, less than 0.4%. According to the most recent data from the agency, that's down from about 0.5% of partnership returns. So it appears to me, and I may be wrong, but it appears to me that they're going after partnership and investors. So I don't have any partners or investors or no loans for my business or anything of that nature. So, but I still want to be ready because you just don't know. You know, you just don't know when. That's one thing about the IRS. It's like a thief in the night. They show this first off. They send some kind of letter, and they letting you know they coming. They telling you they on the way. You know, they gonna have an appointment set up for you and everything. And you know, they literally show up at your business. You know, if you don't want them to show up at your business, they show up at your last time I got audited, I had them show up at my accountant's office. We're gonna meet over there, man. I don't need y'all all over here. So we met over there at the accountant's office, and I brought all my paperwork, had big boxes of stuff and whatever they might have needed. You know, and we got past that, you know. But it is not a good feeling, y'all, when the IRS is telling you, well, we're gonna need receipts for this, receipts for that, and you can't pull them up. You know, that right there is a huge So, you know, I try and stay focused on my in-house bookkeeper so that she's handling her business in that area. So when we are audited or need to go straight to something, she needs to have a full understanding of where that stuff at, and I do too. So we don't have no problems. All right, for S corporations, another type of pass-through entity, the IRS audited 397 returns roughly on 0.01% of all filed in 2018, according to the agency data. The IRS is hiring more than 50. The IRS is hiring 50 more specialized auditors to work these cases, with the aiming of having them in place by February. So I'm telling you, they coming. Y'all, I don't know. Again, y'all, this is written about partnerships and other, you know, investor type businesses. I don't know. All right, the IRS can select returns to audit that are up to 3 years old. If the agency finds significant problems in a taxpayer's filings, the auditors can examine returns that are even older, meaning that they're going to go back 3 years and look at some of your tax returns. And if some of your tax returns ain't looking right with what's going on for real, they make them go back further. Hey, we're gonna dig all the way back with you, and that's pretty much what they're saying here. All right, new audit procedures that Congress approved in 2015 mean that the IRS can more easily collect any underpaid taxes it finds during the audit. All right, instead of having to track down each investor, the IRS can now collect the money from the partnership itself. Wow. I think that's most of what they have on Bloomberg about them. Make sure I got all of it right. Yeah, that is all of it. All right, so I guess the question that I have for a lot of my friends and colleagues, associates, and members of Straight Business Talk, are you scared or are you ready? That's the question you got to ask yourself as a business owner. Am I doing what's right? Am I handling my professionalism of my business right? Do I use QuickBooks? Do I keep good books about my records, about my business and what I'm doing? Or do I just wing it and just buy whatever and throw the receipt away and don't care nothing about all that? You know, I don't know. I'm telling you, it is no feeling worse. And in my opinion, in my professional opinion, there is no worse feeling than being in business and making it happen and doing what you need to do and seeing growth and prosperity happening in your business. And then here come the IRS with that foolishness See, that's what we like to call it. The IRS coming with that foolishness because they want to go through your records. They want to see your banking. They want you to get naked. For real. They want you to take it all the way off and let them see everything to see if you've been handling your business right and see it. They like a pimp. Like a pimp. Hey, there it is. Like a pimp. They like a pimp. Because they come in and they smack you around a little bit and make sure that you understand that we the IRS and we can do what we want to do with you. Now, what we need you to do is go ahead and get your bank records and bank statements in place and let us see what you got going on. And that's just the way it is. See, the IRS don't play with you. The IRS, and the last auditor I had, this lady was so sweet. She was so kind. She was mild-mannered, had a low tone, and they just talk like the nicest people in the world. And they are. They are the nicest people in the world. But they have a job to do. They have a job to do, which is to audit you in your business. So one thing they want to do is sometimes they'll already have your tax returns pulled up that you file with them. They'll have that with them. And then they'll start asking for other things about your tax returns. They'll ask you for your receipts and your bank records. So those are the top two things that I know that they ask for. We need bank statements for January 2020 all the way down to December 2020. We need the whole year's bank statements. And let's go ahead and get 2019 while we're at it. And once they get your bank statements and you hadn't been putting money in the bank, you hadn't, they can't really see nothing for real. And I get it. But somewhere along the line, they're going to find out they're going to figure it out. And if they can't figure it out, then they go to saying, this is how they got me. Okay, well, you owe $28,000. Whoa, no, wow. That's how I was. And well, you need to show some receipts of how you got. And then I was able to go digging and dig some more and bringing it up. Okay, here you can go to these receipts. Here go, I bought this truck and this, and then you get your tax breaks. Because sometimes, let me tell y'all something. All these people that know how to do taxes, they are not real CPAs and bookkeepers and all this kind of stuff. They just know how to do some taxes. Some of these folks know how to do some taxes real good. And they probably don't know that real good, but they are not CPAs and they are not bookkeepers, not all of them. Some of these folks, you need to start asking for references. People that you can ask about the services that they provide. You need to see, ask about, hey, I need to talk to a few of your clients to see how they like what you do. And that helps you understand. Plus, I encourage everyone to have a CPA. I encourage everyone to have an accountant. Now, technically, in my opinion, I don't think you need an accountant or a CPA or whatever all throughout the year. I think you just need them to kind of check in with your bookkeeper, or if you're going to do the bookkeeping yourself, they're going to check in periodically with you to make sure you're doing it right. Because when it comes times to file the taxes, all they really need is your bank records and all of the way that you've been doing your bookkeeping throughout the year. As long as that's organized and intact and on track, they can handle a business of, making sure that you're good. They can tell you about things that you can do to get tax breaks. There's a real accountant, in my opinion, is definitely needed with every business. However, how often you have to use them and pay them, that's a whole nother story. There are some people who, again, they do taxes, but they're not accountants, y'all. There are some people who do taxes. They figured out and learned how to do some taxes, but they're not accountants, CPAs. There are people who, and they should tell you that. Like, hey, I'm not an accountant, I'm not a CPA, but I do taxes. See what I'm saying? And if they tell, I can do your taxes, I can, you're going to need to dig a little bit on them about that. You need to know what you're dealing with. Because the IRS and the CPA can talk with each other. They have the lingo that they understand each other thoroughly. And some tax people can do that too for you. But when you need to make sure your numbers and everything right, in my opinion, I'm not a professional on this. I'm not a scholar on this. I'm just giving you my opinion. And if I'm wrong, I am wrong. But what I do know is that all accountants are not created equal. And all tax people ain't accountants. Bookkeepers. They might can do some bookkeeping or show you how to do some professional bookkeeping. And again, you need to make sure that it's being done right. Because remember, you are their boss. You are their supervisor. Because you are paying them to provide a service through contractual agreement. So they're like a contractor or a vendor to you in your business. So you need to know what you're buying. You need to know what you're putting your money in when you are paying somebody to govern and watch your money throughout the year and make sure that you're doing right when it comes to taxes. I would love to have a CPA come on with us to help us with a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about this morning. But the IRS is planning to audit small mom and pop businesses throughout the year. I think, in my opinion, just from reading the article, I think that it's going to be more focused on partnerships with investors. The result, it says up here, the result could surge in audits of companies ranging from mom and pop retail stores and technology startups to investment funds that have historically faced only infrequent checks thanks to the time and the effort required at the IRS. So, all right, it's time for us to talk, y'all. It's time for us to talk. I need input on this. I need feedback. I need to know, what everybody feels about this. Are you scared? Are you ready? That's the question. Do it matter to you? So, good morning, Trina. I see you. Trina says that HawkeyeFlavor.com should be on your table. It's really that good. Yeah, I'm gonna need some more batter. I keep putting it off. I need some more of that fried batter to cook them pork chops in. Yeah, that fried batter good. I got to give y'all that. I don't think I used the fish. No, I ain't used the fish batter yet. But I used the seasoning, and I used the fried batter for chicken or what have you. But I fried some pork chops with them. Pretty good stuff. So, y'all ain't gonna talk to me this morning. Y'all just let me do all the talking. No fish fry Friday. Yeah, we got a little fish fry Friday. I'm trying to get y'all to talk to me. Y'all don't want to talk this morning. Y'all, it's Tuesday, y'all. It's Tuesday. Y'all, we got straight business talk coming up on January the 16th. January the 16th. We will be live at the Perfect Note in person, hosting straight business talk. We have great food, drinks, that good old blues, a little bit of trap music. We're going to be going in. We're going to be going in. All right, so I hope y'all ready to roll. Straight business talk. How did it go, Trina? Trina said I was audited before as well. How did it go? Did you live? Well, you obviously lived through it, but did they leave you with bruises and cuts and uppercuts and bumps on your head and scars, war wounds? Good morning, Kanisha. There go Kanisha, y'all. Kanisha says a professional does not have to be an accountant, but you need a PTIN number with the IRS for tax professionals. It is other things tax professionals need to do when doing taxes, and they should and will the same access. I guess will have the same access the tax deductions as an accountant, but also it's a matter of doing taxes legal and illegal. I have known accountants to not follow the tax laws and jacked up the amount of refunds for clients to get more. So being professional across the board is what all tax professionals need to do. Sound like that ain't an accountant, Kanisha. That just sounds like somebody saying they're an accountant. If you got to jack up people's information, that they setting you up to fail. That gets you audited. You know, when you start putting unbelievable amounts of stuff that you know, that's when they come. That's when they come at you. I appreciate that feedback, Kanisha. That's very well. What is a PTIN number though? Tell me that. What is a PTIN number? Ron Cook, what up, man? What happening? What up, Ron Cook? We talking about IRS this morning. The IRS talking about coming after small businesses, mom and pops, retail stores. They want to come in and get a full understanding of what you doing in your business. Kanisha says all accountants are not honest. That's true. And all accountants ain't really an accountant. That's my point. But in my opinion, I think Ron said he saw this on TV. In my opinion, I really do think that an accountant who has started a business for being a provider for an accountant or a CPA, in my opinion, this person is trying to do it right. In my opinion, I think the people who are not doing it right as an accountant are the fly-by-night tax people who know how to do some taxes, and then they're saying they're an accountant. And, you know, it just appears that the accountants got to have some kind of license saying they are an accountant. Kanisha says that is how the IRS identifies who is registered as a tax professional. True. And now that goes back to what you were saying earlier. I think that all even though they can get registered and be legal or whatever you want to call it to do some taxes, that still does not suggest that they are a CPA, a public accountant. What up, Roman Hurd? What's happening? Good morning. Welcome to Straight Business Talk. We talking about the IRS. We talking about them pimps, like a pimp. They coming in getting that, you know, they gonna make you get naked and check your butt for your money, for their money. You know, my dad, you know, rest in peace. My dad always told me when we was growing up, especially when I was a teenager, he would always say America ain't nothing but like a big old pimp game. They just like a pimp. My dad would always say that. I used to be tripping like that to be tripping. But I was immature. But he was right. Everything. When you go to your job, there's a madam that watches over all of the hoes. And then there's a pimp. And you know, my dad would break stuff down like that. I was like, damn. He had me looking at everything like the pimp game. And he would explain the pimp game and how the pimp game worked. You know, first I didn't know how it worked. I was young, stupid, didn't know no better. But that's just, my dad would be like, well, you know, pimps, they recruit. They get women to be hoes on the street. And they look after them, buy them clothes, do things for them. And they make them go out there and turn tricks. That old daddy of mine was rough, man. He said they would go out there and turn tricks and bring back the money. I said, what you mean? That ain't their money? No. Oh, no. See, what he do for them, he add them protection. He buy them clothes, give them money, feed them, and house them. So they go out there and do this and that and the other to get that money, and they bring it back to the pimp. didn't understand that at first. I was a kid. I probably was 16. I probably 15, 16 years old. My dad breaking the pimp game down to me. He said, that's how America built, son. I sat back and thought about it. So now here I am, 50 years old. My dad died when he was 59, you know, and I pray to God keep me. But my dad would break down the pimp game so good that I already knew the pimp game before I even got grown. And, you know, back in the day in Birmingham, it was pretty regular that you can ride down 3rd and ride down 1st in some of these areas and just see prostitutes everywhere. Just see them everywhere. And he would be pointing them out. See that dude across the street? That's the pimp. I said, why he cross the street like that? He was looking after, he watching. And he would point this stuff out. And so, as he explained life to me, and how to get money, and how to do things, and how to come up, you know, these are some of the things he showed me. And he told me about the IRS. He told my granddad, you know, he's 90 years old, he's still living, thank the Lord, I'm knocking on wood. But my granddad would always call me. I can call my granddad right now. And what's amazing about my granddad, it's a whole lot of us grandboys that he have. And I would call and say, hey, granddad, and just say it just like that. Hey, Philando, he know who I am there. I'm like, I got call ID. He got a flip phone. So I don't know. I don't know. But he would know who I am, and he would pick up his house phone. But I knew his house phone at the time was just a regular push button phone. You know, he ain't had no call ID on it. So, but he been doing this for years. But my granddaddy, you know, he would always call me and say, hey, Philando, how's it going out there at your business? Hanging TV. I'd be like, well, granddad, it's going good. You know, I just bought a couple of trucks this year. We're doing this, wrapped the bus. And, oh, wow. Man, I wasn't able to do all that. My granddaddy is a former entrepreneur himself. My granddaddy, all up through the 60s and 70s, owned a mechanic shop right downtown in Birmingham. And he used to have, he had a big size mechanic shop. And we were all young and go up to his shop, and he had mechanics working under him. And, you know, we would always see our grandma in there answering the phone and ringing people up and taking the money for the people who paid to get their car fixed or whatever. But my granddad would always, he looks after me because he's a former business owner. And he was the only business owner that I can remember in our family. And you know, I looked up to him as a young man, and I always wanted to be an entrepreneur myself. But as I talked to him, his biggest fear was the IRS and all of the people that, you know, represent taxes. He just like, if it's Alabama taxes, if it's Birmingham taxes, if it's federal taxes, he just has a hang up about it. He said, son, now I'm gonna tell you, you need to make sure you're doing right and paying your taxes, because the people will come after you. Well, my granddad would say that kind of stuff. And here I am, young, don't know no better, and, you know, scared and don't know what to do. You know, we as a people or a culture have a fear that has been instilled in some of us. Man, I don't know if I want to do that because I don't want to be responsible for no taxes. That's how we feel. But as I was growing my business, I was like that too. But I'm the kind of person that if you tell me something that you had never been able to achieve, or you have never been able to conquer, it is my fuel to conquer it. That gives me the motivation I need to break the barrier that you couldn't break. So as my granddaddy told me this kind of stuff about how his fear of being in business when he was younger, running a mechanic shop, making money hand over fist, and being able to pay, you know, where he felt his fair share of taxes. He said he always had a fear of that because he didn't want to not be able to pay. You know, and so since I started my business, like I said, I started my business with the 30-40-30 concept. $30% of $30 of every $100 goes in my pocket as my money. $40 of the $100 goes into my business operating checking account. The other $30 goes towards the business's profits. So every time 30, 40, 30 of $100, if it's $500, $1,000, $3,000, 30% goes into my pocket, 40% goes towards business, other 30% goes towards the business profit. Now, when it comes to handling business and paying taxes, we got money building over here in the profits account, and we also have money building in the business operating account. So again, I've developed a shield of protection around me in growing the business. So when you talk about the IRS coming to audit, then yes, that is a fear that a lot of us should or may have, because we don't know the unknown. We're not used to it yet. We've never been through it. Some of us have and some of us haven't as a business. So I got audited twice as a business because I've been in business 12 years. So as they are saying about they're going to come out there and go out and do audit, I am not really afraid this time. I am not scared of anything this time because I have been doing all of what I know to do the right and proper way to handle my business. I run all money that is being made by the business through the bank. It is, if I owe, I owe. If I don't, I don't. But I know this. I have all the receipts. I have things. I'm doing it right and by the book. That's the only way I know to do it and be right and legitimate. So I've always wanted to own a legitimate business. And it is very, very tough for a lot of us who have a struggle with discipline, and who is very tough for us who have a real struggle with order. If you have hard time having order in your life, it's gonna be hard to run a business. If you an emotional spender, it's gonna be hard to run your business. If you don't, if you just sit back and you just bad with money, you don't budget well, and money just triggers you off into things, that's a problem. You can't get $3,000, $4,000 and act like you ain't got no money. You can't get $10,000, $15,000 and don't spend it. You can't get $100,000 and act as if it's not there. You can't, because you're not used to getting money. And so sometimes we'll mess it up and mess up the money, and then the business start having problems, business go in debt, or you don't have a cushion, you don't have any capital built up. You have to have capital built up. And let me tell you this. I tell people this all the time, and I learned this. I just started doing some of this stuff too. When you are making money, let's say you make $500, you need to have your business banking account set up on auto bank draft to auto whatever, to where it automatically takes out $50 to $100 out of your business checking account a week and dump it in a savings account. It needs to be automatically doing that, because once you create the cash flow, you just dumping money. You handling your business, you paying out stuff, you buying stuff for the business, you paying people, you advertising, but you handling your business. You paying all them bills, but not one of them bills is called savings. You see what I'm saying? So every week, you should have money going into a savings account automatically set up on an automatic payment. Because one day you're going to wake up and you forgot about that automatic payment going straight to a savings account or whatever for the business or an account. You're going to have, depending on the amount that you're going to have, but you can have an extra $5,000, $20,000, $30,000 by the end of the year sitting to the right, because you did that and you ain't even missed it. You ain't missed it. Let's just do some simple math. Let's say you saved $100 a day. Let's just say you saved, matter of fact, let's divide $100 up into 7 days. Let's see what that would cost us. I love doing math like this when it comes to handling business. I like to do business like this. So if I take $100 divided by 7 days, that's $14.28, right? So what if you set up automatic bank draft on automatic bank draft on your bank account, where you take out, now remember this, you go buy lunch, it's probably $10, $15. I'm just gonna be clear, right? So you go buy breakfast, it may be $10, and you go buy some dinner, so that's another $20, right? So we're gonna say 20, 15, that's 35, and you go ahead and throw you another 10 spot on, that's $45 a day, right? What if you ate breakfast at home or brought your lunch? I'm just doing some simple math. All right, and you save $15. Now it says $100 divided up into 7 days a week is $14.28. You take $14.28 and you do times 30 days. That's $428. We're gonna do $14.28. Times 7 days. That's $99.96 times 4, which is a month. So technically that's around $400, right? So if you were saving $14, if your bank account, if you go into, you know how you can do auto pay? If you do auto pay in your online banking, $14.28 or whatever it said, that's $400 a month that you're saving a year. That's $4,800 a year that you're putting to the side, and that's just $14. So what if you doubled that? What if you did it at $30? So let's do $30. $30 times 7 days. That's $210 times 4. $840 a month that you would be putting to the side times 12 months. That's $10,000. Any way you want to shake it or something, you know, that's $30. That's $30 a day. So let's just say you owe $3,000 taxes. You got money to the side. You can handle that. Be through. Keep going. But I think anyone that's in business should be taking money that they are making. So if you made $200 a day, that's fine. You made $300 a day, that's fine. I remember when I thought about buying trucks for my business. I talked about this before. When I thought about buying trucks for my business, man, I ain't finna be paying all them truck notes. Man, I ain't finna. I had that short mind, yeah. You know, I don't want to be paying all them insurances. Man, I ain't. I had every excuse in the world. Man, I ain't finna keep doing all that. Man, that's a lot of money, man. Truck note, $400. And you talking about getting 3 trucks? Shit, man, that's $1,200 a month. Couldn't see it, right? So what I did was, okay, truck note, $400 a month. Let's say the truck note, that truck note was $410 a month. So I took that truck note and broke that baby down to the last compound. I said, okay, so $410 divided by 4 equals $102.50. All right. So and if I divide that by 6 days we worked of the week, that's $17.08 a day. So all my truck got to make is $17.08 a day, and it is paying for itself. So if I give an installer $1,000 worth of installations to do today, and per truck, what is $17.08? Come on now, talk to me. He go out there and do all the work, handle the business, get the jobs in, install them, brings in the paperwork, the money. We've made our $17 a day, able to pay him on his check, and we made money. That truck making money. So I go do another truck the same way. Go buy another truck the same way. Go do another truck the same way. The truck paying for itself. Philando ain't out no money on these trucks. I'm just going out there doing the hell in the business. The trucks ain't even in my name. Trucks in the business name. So again, it's not about what you do with the money. It's how you handle the money. So when I sat back and started doing some math, when I started realizing that, shit, I can say, what? I can do what? So all I got to do is just go sign for the truck. Get the truck wrapped. Have the CB radio installed in the truck. Put the tracking device on the truck so I can know where my truck at all times. Put a uniformed man in the truck. Hand him work to go do. Teach him how to do the work and hand him work to go do. God is good, y'all. Because when that light bulb popped up on my head like that, it was a no-brainer. So then when I start realizing, okay, so when now I need to be ready for audits. I need to be able to handle my business. I need to be able to know that when they go out and do this, they need to turn in all receipts for this. They need to have receipts for fuel. They need to have receipts for parts, supplies, all that turned in on a daily basis. And then I need to have a bookkeeper who is bookkeeping it all. So I need to pay a bookkeeper. Guess what I did with that? How much a bookkeeper costs? Did the math. I just got to make this much a day to pay a bookkeeper? Oh, well, we're still winning. Come on, y'all. We talking about the IRS. We talking about, are you scared of the IRS? Or are you ready for the IRS? See, a true business owner gonna seek out the problem first. Analyze it. Recognize and realize what needs to happen in order to be prepared for being audited. See, that's the difference. If you're not ready to be audited, it's because you got caught slipping. You ain't even been paying attention. You won't even care. You wait for the storm to come. That's why people get ready for tornadoes and stuff. That's why there's a tornado warning. There's the things that warning come before destruction. Here's your warning. Here's your warning. This live is your warning. This is the warning to get you to understand that if you want to be a professional, top champion business owner, you have to be willing to do the things that it takes to be that. You have to go over and beyond, and you cannot let family members and naysayers and demotivators and all these kinds of people come into your ear with their foolishness, because first and foremost, they don't understand the life of an entrepreneur. Majority of the times that you are running your business, there's a lot of people that ain't gonna relate to you at all, period. Ambition cost. It can cost you everything. When you want to run a top level, professional, thriving business, you have to be willing to say, by any means necessary, I got to do this. I got to do this. Sometimes your spouse can be the biggest hindrance to you getting it done right and correctly. So I just want to make sure that you all understand that in the professional area of being a business owner, sometimes you're going to be audited. You're going to be asked about some of the things. So I'm going to read some of y'all comments. All right. Trina says, hey, what was the texting app? Texting app? You talk about so you can text your customers? Is that what you're saying? I want to know if that's it. I don't know about this. All right. Roman says, the best thing I done for my business was directly feeding my savings account for X amount of dollars. Much better than just leaving it in a business checking account trying to feed everything. Great stuff info here, bro. Hey, man, that's yes. That's it. What up, Nate? I see you, man. Nate Oliver in the house. That is right. You need to have some kind of money that when you making money, you need to be putting a little back on a daily basis. How you gonna make money? How you profiting? Think about that for a minute. If you leaving it all in the bank like that, how you can't even identify the profits. Trina, that's gonna be cheapesttexting.com. Cheapesttexting.com, Trina. Cheapest texting, like the cheapest thing you can buy, then texting.com. Cheapest, CHEAPEST, texting, TEXTING.com. Cheapesttexting.com. Kanisha say, roll back and read, man. I'm going backwards. Okay, here we go. Kanisha says, you stuck on the CPA and accountants, but are you falling to accurately think that they can be crooks of air quotes their CPA or accountant status? I know nurses that are professionals but have been in trouble for stealing patients' medication. All I'm saying is don't let professional titles keep you blind because you so professional you can't see. Just because you are not a CPA doesn't mean that you are not educated. That is not my point. I'm not responsible for any assumptions, but those are not my point. None of that expresses anything that I was saying. All I'm saying, and I clearly stated earlier, I'm not a scholar and I can be wrong. But again, my stance on your statement, Kanisha, I'm not hung on titles. And I think you may have missed the part that I said that you should be checking for references and you should also be doing your homework on these people before doing anything. I don't care about no title. I don't care nothing about professional, all that kind of stuff. All I care, I care about professional when you are being professional. I also care about references and things that I need to be checking upon, because this stuff, look, all you got to do is go and Google is type in how to hire a CPA. Boom. You're going to get everything that you need to know in here on how to hire a CPA. This stuff ain't rocket science. I get it, but yeah, I hear what you're saying about that, but that particularly, in my opinion, it doesn't express what my point is. My point is if a person has the need of hiring a CPA. See, first and foremost, some of this stuff confuses people. Some of this folks still stuck where they at. But see, I'm a man of looking for a solution. So again, if I'm sitting up here saying, okay, well, you need to hire a CPA. Well, all CPAs ain't good and all this ain't that. Okay, well, still there's a solution. That's fine, and we already know that. But what the point is if a person can simply go and do some research and ask for references, and even here it is, you go to a person who's thriving as a business owner, ask them, who do you use as a CPA? Who do you use for this and who do you use for that? You see what I'm saying? Then that's what I mean. Sometimes you get word of mouth, and they'll tell you their experiences, and you can ask them, well, have you ever been audited? You'll say, yeah, I got audited before. Okay, well, how did it go when you had a CPA? Oh, CPA talked with them back and forth. I walked out of that thing and had nothing to worry about. Oh, see what I'm saying? So that's my whole point here. It's not that I don't think it's some crooks. I know it's crooks. There's crooks everywhere. It's crooks hanging TVs. They out here everywhere. But, that wasn't my point. And I apologize if that came off, if that was my point. But that ain't my point. All right. Trina says, I was bruised but healed quickly because of what I learned. Trina, tell us about what you learned. Help us out. What did you learn in your audit? Tell us about that. Good morning, Kelly Weeks. Good morning. Good morning. Kanisha says, I can't wait for the radio show. I did not miss a part. I need to talk. Okay, Kanisha. It is what it is. Trina, tell me about your experience. Okay, y'all, today we're going all the way to 8:30. I was late this morning. And yesterday I ain't even come on. I ain't come on yesterday because I could not figure out how in the world to get back into my Facebook. And I just figured it out this morning, right? A little bit after. Like, man, I just couldn't get, I was in my Facebook, but when I had to go in straight business talk, I couldn't get in. I didn't know what was wrong. And I was logged in Facebook on the business account and didn't know it. And I got on my desktop here and I was able to clearly see what the problem was. And that's when I went back in and fixed the problem. All right, so I'm looking up how to hire a professional CPA. And so this will be helpful to those who are still clouded on, what we're talking about. How do you look for a CPA? We're going to discuss that. Kanisha say, I said what I said. Okay, pimp. Kanisha around here pimping now, y'all. Y'all better watch Kanisha. I said. Kanisha, you get like Mister on Color Purple. You get like Mister on Color Purple where he said, I done fixed that mailbox where I knows when it be messed with. Yeah. Jasper Hoskins, good morning. Good morning, Jasper. All right. 10 questions to ask before hiring a tax accountant. All right. I'm going to go through this for everyone. We're talking about the IRS today and the need to have a professional certified public accountant. So we're going to talk about some of the things that it takes to have, what questions you should ask when hiring a professional public accountant. All right. So this article is written by Jane Porter. Okay. She is the writer and editor for this piece I'm about to read and go over with you all. All right. And it's also on entrepreneur.com. All right. So Trina says, which forms I should use to file all my real estate and what constitutes a business according to the IRS. I learned to always keep receipts, which I did. Thank God. At one point, they levied all my accounts. Oh, I forgot about that. Right, they'll do that. We're going to talk about that before I leave today. I was mortified, and they still wanted another $30,000. We finna talk. I'm glad you brought all that into it, because that is something they can do. They can levy your checking accounts, take all the money out your account for the purposes. You hear me? The purposes of the taxes. And the bank just cooperate with them. They get smacked up and took the bank. The bank ain't your friend when it comes to the IRS. They'll and they'll ha with you all day long. But when the IRS come through the door, I send them a letter and say, look here, hey, all that money right there he got right there, hey, that right there, that's us. Let me get it. The bank gonna give them your money without even calling you. They gonna handle their business and put a levy on your account. And it ain't coming back that I know of. They'll trip. All right, it scared me so bad I started keeping my money under the mattress. But damn how much it was. Just what it is, how it go. All right, so I'm gonna read this piece by Jane Porter from entrepreneur.com. All right, when is it time to look for a tax accountant? You want one who not only can help save you money and avoid potential trouble with the IRS, but also can provide useful information for your business. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. Getting a call. Let me make sure ain't nothing wrong with my boy. What up, man?
Hey, I need gas and hit the road.
All right, sending it to you now. Y'all be careful on the road.
All right.
They are going to Auburn, Alabama. Hold on. Send them their gas. They're going to Montgomery first, then they're going on to Auburn after that. They got several work jobs they got to do today. All right, we're about to go over this. All right. Make sure he got his gas. All right. When it's time to look for a tax accountant, you want one that not only can help you save money and avoid potential trouble with the IRS, but also can provide useful information for your business. We tend to think of accountants as numbers people, but a good accountant does more than just figure the numbers. Says Itline, co-founder of American Institute for Certified Tax Coaches. American Institute for Certified Tax Coaches. A good accountant will communicate what the numbers mean to us. All right. So shop around. We're talking about how to hire a great CPA. All right. So shop around. Interview accountants and figure out which one is the best fit for you in your business. Here are 10 key questions to help you make the decision. All right. Number one question you should already be asking this so-called accountant, Kanisha. What kinds of clients do you work with? The reason you want to make sure your accountant understands your type of business. A restaurant will have certain rules to follow for wages and tips, for instance, just as construction business must deal with issues related to contract workers. And real estate development firm will have certain criteria about how income is reported. You need an accountant who has worked with other businesses like yours and knows the ins and outs of the industry. All right, I'm gonna stop right there. Read the comments. All right, Trina says which forms. Oh, I read that part. Trina says, baby, they even levied the interest from my CD. Let me get that. Oh my God, that's pimping. Roman says, I got to start prepping for lunch. I'll finish watching later. Okay, Roman. All right, here we go. Number 2, are you available year-round? That's what you need to ask. That's number 2. Are you available year-round? I'm going to try to get this and put it on our page as well. Some accounting firms shut their doors after April 15th. Did y'all know that? Some accounting firms shut their doors after April 15th and only reopen for the following tax season. But when you're running a small business, you're gonna need help all year. If something comes up and you don't want to wait the tax season in order to get your issue addressed, so that's number 2 question you should ask: are you available year round? Because some CPAs are not available after April 15th to October or whatever to tax season get back going. All right. Number 3. Questions that you should ask: what's your experience with the IRS? Often people will tell you it's important to hire a CPA rather than an EA or enrolled agent because CPAs have more comprehensive certification requirements. While CPAs are state certified and have training in such areas as financial planning and bookkeeping, EAs are certified by federal government specifically to handle taxes and often former IRS agents with extensive experience dealing with audits. They have been in the belly of the beast. They may have more inside knowledge of how the IRS really works, Lion says. On the other hand, a CPA will likely have more experience with broader financial planning issues rather than focusing on certification. Focus on how your accountant's experience is relevant to your business. Number 4. All right. Who will be doing the work? Mr. Mrs. Accountant Lady, sir. Who will be doing the accounting work? Accountants will often outsource their work to a third party. This doesn't mean their services are bad, but you want to be sure they are forthright about who is dealing with the work. If you want to talk with someone familiar with your bookkeeping, that's a third party, and that's a third party, it likely will be difficult to speak with him or her directly. All right. Number 5. Are you a conservative or more aggressive accountant? All right. Some accountants will write off everything they possibly can, while others take a more conservative approach. It's important to figure out where you fall on the spectrum and find an accountant who agrees with your philosophy. All right. If accountants tell you they specialize in finding red flags, that could trigger audits. Oh, my bad. I read that wrong. Sorry. Here we go. If accountants tell you they specialize in finding red flags that can trigger audits, they may be hesitant to maximize your deductions. For example, some accountants believe taking a home office deduction might be a red flag to the IRS. Makes sense. All right, number 6. How do you bill for your services? You want to ask a CPA this. How do you bill out the services that you provide? Some accountants charge by the hour. Others bill a flat rate. If you want to take a more hands-on approach to your bookkeeping, an hourly rate might be better because you won't have as much continuous work for an accountant. Regardless of the billing approach, be sure to get an estimate of an accountant's likely fees. Provide a copy of your previous year's tax returns so that an accountant can familiarize him or herself with your business before giving a quote. 7. How do you handle working with multiple entities? If you have more than one entity under your name, be sure the person you hire can manage them simultaneously. A skill not all accountants possess. If you own rental property, Trina, as an LLC in a retail store registered as a C Corp, for example, you'll need an accountant who can coordinate and track money moving between these entities. All right. Number 8. What can you tell me about the medical expense reimbursement plan? This question may seem technical, but not all accountants will know about this plan, which allows you to deduct for your family's medical expenses on your return. If the accountant you're speaking with is unfamiliar with such plans, you should be wary. You should be wary because that might be a red flag that he or she isn't well versed in deductions that could save your business money. All right. Number 9. What programs do you use? You shouldn't choose accountants based on the tax program they use, but it is a good detail to ask about QuickBooks. It is a good detail to ask about. All right, QuickBooks is commonly used for small businesses, which means your information would likely be easily transferred between different accountants. Hiring an accountant who uses more obscure tax software won't affect the quality of the work, but it might make it tricky to switch accountants. That's true. I think that is so true. Meaning that if your accountant is not using QuickBooks and they're using some other mess, it'd be hard for them to transfer that information over so that you don't have to worry about, when you're trying to switch accountants. How often will you communicate about tax issues? That's number 10. How often will you communicate about tax issues? Every accountant will be different when it comes to frequency of communication for tax planning purposes. Ask about a prospective accountant's approach and be sure you're satisfied with the degree of communication. You want to feel comfortable calling them with issues relating to your taxes. Okay, y'all, I am going to put all of what I just read on the Facebook page. This will allow you guys time to read this. Those of you who are reading the live, just want to read it for yourself, you can. I'm actually putting it there now, and it will be there. All right, I'm putting it on there now. All right, y'all, I just posted it on the page. It's there. If you all want to look and read that for yourself, there was 10 questions that you can ask when looking for a CPA. Hiring a CPA is very important to a business owner because you want to make sure that you're getting your taxes done right, You also want to make sure that any deductions or anything that can trigger audit, that you not have bad representation. Because remember, a CPA will represent you as well at an audit. All right.
What you looking at? Listen, nigga, you don't know. At a club in the street, so wherever we should be, chop, nigga, you don't know. You might see me in the street, but nigga, you don't know.
All right, y'all look like everybody logging out. Okay. Looking it up for you now. I just sent it to you, Trina. It's in your inbox. Oh yeah, Trina, tell old Alex congratulations. They made the playoffs like that. They didn't make it in stylish fashion, but they there. You welcome. All right, y'all. I also put it in the comment section of the live. Oh, okay. Kanisha, you back? We just went over I just put it on the live, and I also put it on the page. The 10 questions that you should ask when hiring a professional tax accountant. I'm sorry, a CPA. So you do marketing, huh? So what are your efforts today for marketing? What are your efforts today? I'm getting ready to ramp up marketing for iHang TVs. I am gonna put 200 commercials on Fox 6 this month. You're gonna see my commercial more often than none, wide open. This month alone. So he was so excited. I bet he was. I bet he would. They ain't even win a lot of games though. That would trip me out. I don't know. If it was me, I would be excited too. So we lost our game straight up. So we'll see everybody next year. It's over with for us. Well, not next year. At the end of the year, back down there in August, September. So that's where we at with it.
Stratus Mobile Audio.
All right, y'all, we got about 15 more minutes. Might log off early. All right, y'all. All right, we got low participation and low responding. So I'm about to get on up off here. I will log on tomorrow. I have a great subject for tomorrow. We'll talk about some other things.
Stratus.
Got to get to the office because we got to have phone day. We got more phone. We got brand new phone system. Well, we got a new phone system, but we are expanding it today. So we got to have training on our new phones. So we getting ready to go wide open and get everything going strong at ihangtvs.com. ihangtvs.com, y'all, is going on 13 years old. Can y'all believe that? I remember when I first started hanging TVs. Yeah, I remember. Hanging TVs has been very well to us as a family and as a business. Hold on. What up, Pooh?
What's up, Pop? Hey, the guy from the barbershop that called, we had left one of the drop ceiling tiles up, and I guess he said he was trying to push it back up, and he said his lights went out.
That's what he called you to say? He ain't say nothing there.
No.
He just texted me and said somebody he don't know how to switch his TV back to cable. He ain't say nothing about none of that.
He just called me and said his lights gonna come on.
Right. He ain't say none of that. Okay, I'll call him. All right. All right, y'all. I'm about to get off this live. I will see you guys on tomorrow. Straight Business Talk Live, January 16th. Book your spot right now at straightbusinesstalk.net. Y'all have an awesome day.